Okay, here we are at the Gibson Guitar Studios in London. Gives me the great pleasure to be in the company of Crucified Barbara, with two members, Mia Coldheart and Klara Foss. How are you two?
Great, yeah, we're good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and all the better to be in your company. You got a new album, it's called In the Red, out on Despotz Records on September the 10th. And tell us about the album title. What can we read into the Red?
Well, it's kind of a double meaning, I guess. I guess what most people think about, it's kind of a banking term, and you know, being in a band economically, I guess you're basically in the red.
So everybody thinks you drive around in Rolls Royces when you don't.
Well, not quite. I think no, that's not the case. But it's also like we were thinking of these old VU meters. You know, when it peaks, when it's loud, it goes in the red.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the way it kind of symbolizes our music really well.
I was like, you do play loud, so I imagine a lot of the time it is well into the red.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great title. And the album, the cover, has been designed by Eric Rovenpera.
Yeah.
I hope I said that right. And Mia, tell us more about Eric and what made you decide to go for his work for the album cover.
We've been following him for some years, and he's done a lot of great artwork. He's a tattoo artist as well. Right?
Yeah, he does a lot of.
I think another band's Horisont, another band from Sweden. He's done the album cover for them, I believe.
Candlemass. He's a great artist, and we've been wanting to work with him for a long time, and now we had the chance to do it. So great.
Great. Now, you shot a video for this album, To Kill a Man, and I'm sure you're going to be asked about this video and about the work, the meaning behind the song, and every interview you're going to be doing for the next year or so. And it's quite a strong subject, and it's quite a strong title, and it's quite an amazing statistic, actually. I think I read somewhere in one of your blogs, it's 1/5 of the world's women has been raped or attempted rape. You know, and that's quite a strong statistic. You know, and obviously it's not 1 in 5 men are doing that. You know, it's a very small percentage. But what made you sort of tackle such a strong subject?
I mean, it's this violence against women. It's something you read about all the time. You hear stories from people all the time. It happens everywhere, every minute. And it's such a huge problem, I would say. And the main inspiration for this song is an actual person, a former Swedish police chief who was in prison for many years for rape and taking like sexual advantage of young girls. And he was this, like in the press, he was speaking about gender equality, and he was this perfect guy, but in his spare time he was actually going around raping young girls, and it pissed us off, and we just took that anger and we wrote a song about it, and that's the video.
And was that an isolated case in Sweden, or was there like it's like common in Sweden where it's like it's a taboo subject where people from high society can get away with that? Because we're getting sort of similar stories in England.
Yeah, I think, but you know, it happens everywhere, all over the world. You're not safe as a woman anywhere, in all classes, in all cultures. It's going on everywhere. So I think it's a very important subject and a message we really want to share.
And what sort of feedback have you been getting from fans? And have you been getting messages from fans who might have been in that situation themselves?
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of great response from both men and women that think it's great that we...
And men.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been looking on the internet and there's some people who are saying, Crucified Barbara, they're feminists, they're not really looking into the message as such, you know. So we've had a lot of internet trolls as well.
Yeah, I know. I've been hearing about people get pissed off from our song, but I think it's, okay, it's a price we have to pay to speak up. And I mean, if someone doesn't approve, it's not my problem, it's their problem.
That's correct, very correct. And you shot another video, I don't think it's been released yet, and I sell my kids for rock and roll, you know. Not so serious, but tell us more about that. Mia.
We don't have any kids yet, so don't be worried. But the lyrics is about inspired by a lot of people in the business and the press and overall that have a lot of
prejudice
about how rock bands should be and that women shouldn't play rock music. And we heard one thing that is inspired a lot to this lyric was one man in the music business that from the beginning we heard that he didn't want to work with us because he said, they are so young and they will get married and get kids, so we don't want to put an effort on this band. And now, like 10 years after, when we still going strong, I said like, now they got going too old.
Yeah. So you can, we can never do right.
No,
we're too young and girly, or we're
too old.
So
I'm surprised to hear that actually, because I thought that was sort of banished 10, 15 years ago, the attitudes of women in rock. That still exists, does it?
Apparently it does.
Sometimes it sneaks through to our ears, but it's nothing we focus on too much, because if you start to listen to people who think negative stuff about you, it's just gonna hurt you to stop the flow. But so we tried not to focus on that, but this time I couldn't stop ourselves from.
But I think it's great. Like you take all the bad stuff and instead of just feeling them inside, you can express them. You can write songs and you can get it out instead of just like getting sad and depressed over it. You just write a song and it's kick-ass and it feels great.
Yeah, and the good thing is, even if you write about some person in the music business or in a relationship that gone bad, you can always like, you get the energy out every night, you can scream it out.
Just feel that person.
And the good thing is when you know that some in the audience they really enjoy the lyrics, you can sing with them as well. That's great. So we share the moments.
It's great. You know, so you just mentioned none of you had children yet. So what is it that you love about rock and roll so much that makes you do this? Because I mentioned earlier, the band started in 1998, which is amazing. Because you all look still young, and So what is it you love about rock and roll so much?
I don't know. Yes.
Being in this room.
But I think basically I love being in this band. I don't think I would do it just with any band. It's like this unit, the four of us. It's a great thing we have going on. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Yeah, and I think it's fun that, of course, there's ups and downs since we've been doing this for like 15 years and more. And sometimes if it's a time off, for example, when we haven't met for maybe 1 week or so, can be like, I'm going to the rehearsal and tired. And then as soon as we turn on the amp and take a chord, it's like great feeling comes back.
Yeah, just put on the distortion, play a chord, and you're instantly reminded
the amp is like
why you do it.
Yeah.
And what's the chemistry within the band? Like, is it just a musical thing, or are you best of friends?
No, we met through music and became best friends.
Yeah, that's great. And you just come back from Brazil, actually. You did a tour out there in April, and obviously around that time it's just before the World Cup, and there's a lot of riots going on. And did you get any experience of that yourself? Did you see any anti-resentment towards the World Cup when you was in Brazil?
Yeah, sure. It was. It's a football nation. Everything is about football, and it was like we were in Porto Alegre, where one of the big arenas are, and people were talking about, it's horrible, this road we're traveling on right now, it's been closed for so many years because they rebuilt it, so finally we can drive here as normal people again. And it's been, I guess, very hard for people actually living there. And they showed us they cleaned this favela up and moved people around just to make room for the arenas and to make it look nice, and it seems to be big issue in Brazil.
And was it an enjoyable experience for you to be in Brazil?
Yeah, we've been there twice and it's great for us there.
So I've been there myself, and I must say, for me, going to Brazil was all about drinking the caipirinha. I don't know if you, is that a drink you've been introduced to, I take it?
Yeah, but it's a lovely country
of course.
to go to. It's so different from Sweden, and it's such an experience too.
And the fans are really great audience there.
Is there anywhere in the world where you haven't been yet that you would love to visit with the band?
We haven't been to Japan.
Oh, really?
I'd love to go there.
Yeah, well, there are several places we haven't been. We haven't been to Greenland. We haven't been to
Iceland.
No, we haven't been to Africa.
Yeah.
India.
Well, I think Japan should be the next one on the list, so have to look into that. And in the past, you have supported some great artists, and I suppose one of them would be Motorhead. You know, you toured with Lemmy, and what was it meeting Lemmy? How was that for you? And what did Motorhead sort of teach you?
I think it was a great tour with it. It was a long time ago, and it was with the first album, and we were treated really well, and it was just great.
We pissed him off with the ukulele a couple of times. It was
yeah, we were.
But
Or
mostly-
touring ukuleles.
Yeah,
they
we-
can be quite annoying.
especially when we drink. No, but it was great. They were really nice.
I was impressed about Lemmy's knowledge of like old 60s pop music. He knew a lot. And
Oh, he's a big Shadows, sort of even Cliff Richard and
everything, you know.
Little Richard and everything. You know, that's what he listens to when he's at home. You know, he's love of 60s rock and roll. What music yourself do you listen to when you're at home or when you're growing up?
Like growing up, I think the inspiration for us to start to play music, it was the grunge scene. It was Nirvana. It made us pick up the guitars. And then during the years, it has evolved. And I like a little bit of everything. I would say what I love the most is maybe 70s rock, Sabbath and stuff like that. But I love jazz music, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, stuff like that too.
And how about yourself, Mia? Is that the same for you?
Yeah, I started as well with the grunge, and I think that's the red line through everything I listen to till now. That I still always want some kind of dirt in the sound. I don't like it too polished. So
I totally agree. Like no matter genre, I like it when it's a bit rough.
yeah, so the modern metal doesn't do much for me. Like when you produce everything, it doesn't matter if it's pop or metal. It's going through the same. It's like it's fabric produced, and it doesn't make much. But when I'm home nowadays, I don't listen so much to music actually, because we're working a lot, and when we're writing music ourselves, I like to have the ears clear, so I don't get too much from anywhere.
I think you find out of a lot of bands actually, you know, because you are on tour all the time, you're performing all the time, so when you get home, you completely shut off.
Yeah.
Is that what you
Especially
do?
when you record and like listening to the mixes, and you have to listen to your own music all the time. Your ears get so tired. You just want silence.
Do you ever listen to your own music actually? Do you ever go back to your old albums and give them a listen?
I don't, only like when we're working with it and you listen to it constantly like you listen to the demos to see if, is it good, what could we change, and also during the mixing process you listen a lot, but once it's done, it's kind of done.
Yeah, I feel really uncomfortable if we're like on a club, or for example, in a rock club, if we're gonna play, I can understand. But if someone puts it on just because we're in a building or something, I will listen to this, or at a party at someone's house, they think it's fun. Oh, listen, now we're playing your song, and it's like.
I don't know why it's weird, because at the same time I feel very proud. I love it. I think we've done a good thing, but at the same time when people do that, I feel a bit embarrassed.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I don't know why, because I like what we've done, and I think it sounds good, but it's...
Maybe it's because it brings some attention, like,
Yeah.
It's like, no.
No, I must ask you about your personalities, you know, 'cause you're here sitting right in front of me and you come across as two very nice girls, very quiet, and yet on stage you're angry and you're full of energy, you know. So what's the difference between being off stage and being on stage?
For me, it's just different kinds of, like, different levels of energy. Like, I'm not like another person on stage. It's just a bit more
It's
energy.
more like another side of yourself. It's that energetic, like kick-ass side of yourself, and when you get it out during that hour and a half that you're on stage, it feels great. And then you can just relax. You don't have to prove anything because you've done it on stage.
And do you have a routine before you go on stage? How do you psych yourself up?
No, what do we do? I mean, we try to warm up.
Yeah, we try to warm up, and just gather some half an hour before and go through the set. We always change something, even if we play the same songs.
I think for me, I feel much more secure, like when we talk it through, what song goes where and what's happening, and if we changed anything. And sometimes we even rehearse before.
Yeah, we always have to have some time alone, just the four of us, and that's what we need.
And just get in the mood, like.
It's really disturbing if there are other people, even like the tour manager, and you just have to be.
And I must ask you about your stage names. You know, Mia Cold Heart and Klara False, and also Do Not Hear Ida Evil Eye and Nikki Wicked. Obviously, what the real names are the surnames. So where do those names come from? You know, Mia, do you have a cold heart?
Yeah, not on the outside.
It's actually a very bad name for you because you're very warm-hearted.
Yeah, but I got it some years ago when I was born with my mother. I was a bit tougher when I was younger, so I think it was a better name for me then.
But it was kind of a thing just to the change between your private self and your stage personality to give it an extra kick. Like, okay, if I even have a special name for the stage, it's gonna be something extra. So we've had these names since way before we even released the first album. So, and they just stuck.
It's like a come out of innocence, really.
Yeah.
Well, good, effective names. Mia, Klara, it's been wonderful talking to you. The album In the Red is out on Despotz Records on September the 10th. There's a European tour, including some dates in England in October. So I'm looking forward to that. I've seen you before live. I know you kick ass. Chris Barbara, all the best for the future.
You too.
Thank you very much. Thank you.